Hello, I am Tramika, Craddock, wife mompreneur, and I help moms find a healthy balance between the daily tasks of motherhood and pursuing their dreams. So I wanted to come on this week to prepare us for the new year and give 5 mom hacks, 5 different strategies or either tips that I have used in my personal life and that I've shared with other clients. So they are sure to work. That's going to help us get set up for success for the following year. And so I wanted to come on and share this with all the moms that I'm connected with. And I ask that you go ahead, if you believe that these are some good tips and strategies that's going to help a mom that you know, that you will go ahead and share this video. So this is video number 1. The first mom hack tonight, we're going to be talking about the subject of time management. And so I have 12 different tips that I want to provide you all tonight for time management. We may want to do all these different things: pursuing our dreams, starting a business, progressing the business, being more involved, whatever that looks like. But if you don't have the management of your time with everything that you're doing right now, how would you possibly fit more in? And so I want to give you 12 tips that's going to help you be able to be more productive next year and also start to do some of those things that you always imagined that you wanted to do. Whether that's traveling more, starting a business, progressing your current business, being more involved. I have friends that I talk to and they're like, I want to be a part of the PTA. I want to get more involved in my child's classroom next year, but I just don't seem to have enough time. And so we may have moms who are working full-time, part-time. You already are an entrepreneur, but the daily task of just motherhood period does take up a lot of our time. And then when we try to add extra stuff on top of that, it gets even more complicated. So I wanted to come on and just share these tips with you. And I promise if you go ahead and implement these tips in your life, it's going to help you more with your time management. So I'm going to go ahead and dive right in. The first tip that I want to share with you is establish concrete hours. And what I mean by that, creating a schedule for yourself. If you work 9 to 5, then you know that those are concrete hours that do not move regardless of anything. If you want to add chores, your weekly chores for the week, you're going to say, okay, well, let's say you work 9 to 5. Let's use that example as we go through the video today. And so a person that works 9 to 5 or has a business, you're an entrepreneur and your work hours are 9 to 5. Let's just use that as an example. You may want to say, let me go ahead when I get off, you add in travel time or doing stuff with the kids if you work from home or whatever that looks like. You may want to say for chores, I'm going to do that at 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. every morning. I'm going to do whatever I need to do, what that day looks like. For me, I break it down. I have bathroom days because we have so many bathrooms to clean. I have a day for laundry. So whatever that looks like, you want to have concrete hours where you're saying this is what I'm going to do during that time. If you work out or if you're working full time and you're starting a business, you may want to say after the kids go to bed from 8:30 to 9:30 or 8:30 to 10:30, whatever that time frame looks for you, jot down, write down some concrete hours that you're going to actually be accomplishing these things that you want to accomplish in your life. Whatever the goals are, establish concrete hours. That's number 1. Number 2 is setting realistic goals for yourself, daily goals. And what I mean by that is, first of all, if you haven't done it already, I need you to start creating a to-do list. And I need for you to do this on a daily basis. And so what I typically do is the night before, I'll say, hey, these are all the things that I would like to accomplish for the following day. And so that may look like doctor's appointments, volunteering at PTA for particular events, meeting with clients. That may be working on a business plan or strategy, whatever that looks like, grocery shopping, time for yourself. That's important as well. Create a to-do list, a daily to-do list for yourself, and make sure you're not overextending yourself by creating a realistic to-do list. If you know that there's only 24 hours in a day, you have to take care of the kids some of those hours, you have to sleep some of those hours, you have to work or work on business some of those hours, there's no way you're going to be able to jam-pack your to-do list. And for example, when I'm meal planning, and this is a whole nother subject, if I have a busy day, I don't plan to cook on a day that I have a ton of stuff going on. I would either cook the day prior so that we have leftovers, or it'll be something very short and simple, something quick and simple, I should say, that I'm going to cook on that busy day. And so when we're creating our task list or to-do list for the day, we have to be sure that we're putting in realistic things that we know that we'll have time to accomplish. Because what happens is you start to feel bad, you start to feel guilty, you beat yourself up if you don't accomplish those things in a day, and then that attitude or that mood carries on for the rest of your week. So you want to be sure when you're creating your to-do list, a daily to-do list, that you are being realistic with the goals that you're trying to accomplish for that day. Number 3 is get off social media. How many times have we laid in the bed scrolling through Instagram and Facebook and looking at everybody else's life and babies, and that's cute and I love that business ideal? That is time that we can be implementing towards our own life. That is time that we can be productive towards our own life. And so what I do, because I do like scrolling sometimes, I don't do it a lot, but what I tell myself, okay, Tramika, you did such and such. You cleaned all the bathrooms today. So I'm going to allow you I love looking at home decor items. So I'm going to allow you, and I'm talking to myself like this, okay? I'm going to allow you 20 minutes to just lay in the bed before you just get up and look at home decor stuff. And so you can use that as a reward system for yourself if you are accomplishing the goals. Same thing we do with children. We kind of have to keep ourselves accountable in the same ways, especially so that we can get disciplined about managing our time. And so reward systems, if you did accomplish the goals yesterday, you might want to give yourself an extra 10 minutes or whatever to kind of do what you want to do, watch that favorite TV show, whatever that looks like for you. But reward systems do work. Or I would say, okay, I know it's raining outside, it's cold. I'll give you 10 minutes to lay here and scroll and do whatever you need to do, and then I need you to get up and be productive for the day. So number 3 is get off social media. Get off social media. If you're not really on there a lot, then this tip may not be for you. But if you spend hours and hours of time on social media, and you know if you're the person I'm talking to, definitely want to spend less time on social media and be more productive in planning, organizing, and just managing your time. And so additional tip or strategy that I'll give to that, if you are a Apple user, if you have iPhones, they now have rolled out this new thing called screen time. And so if you don't think, or you don't really know, or you're just kind of oblivious because you're scrolling for 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, you can use this screen time feature to see how much time you're actually spending on social media and what particular sites. If it's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever that may be, you can use this social media. You can use this feature on your phone. So if you have iPhones, I want to hear how much time you all are spending on social media. Now, if you're taking care of business, you're responding to clients, you're posting or doing things of that nature, then that's different. This is just idle time that we spend just scrolling through social media, looking at stuff, looking at videos that is not helping us be productive and where we're trying to go. And so tip number 3 again is get off social media. Number 4, say no more. And that was one of the things that I had to learn, and I had to get really good at. And sometimes, it still is a struggle for me to be able to say no, because I love helping people. But don't allow people to take advantage of your help. And so saying more no is going to free you up to do things around your house, to be productive when it comes to building the business, progressing the business. It's going to help you do stuff for work. It's going to help you be able to do more stuff with your children, be more in tune or be more involved, whatever that look like, whatever the goal is that you're trying to accomplish in your life. Saying no when you need to, there may just be, I can tell you, when I quit my job over 4.5 years ago, and I decided that I was going to be a stay-at-home mom before I had even started the business, people would just call me and want to talk to me all day on the phone, as if being a stay-at-home mom was not a job, or as if I didn't have anything else to do. Even now, some people will call me or text me, and I'm like, I'm busy, I'll have to get back to you. And they like, doing what? Like, I need you to look this up for me, or I need you. Say no more. I am learning and still growing in that area, but I did have to get to a point where priorities came first, no matter what. So saying no more. So, number one, establishing concrete hours. Number two, setting realistic goals, a to-do list daily. Number three, getting off social media. Number four, saying no more. Number five, know that you cannot be perfect. This is something I struggle with as well. I am a perfectionist to the core. And so sometimes we are not as productive when we're trying to be a perfectionist, because you're working on one task for so long trying to make sure it's perfect. And I'm guilty of this. I'm getting better, y'all. I'm working on it. But we have to know that it's okay not to be perfect. We live in a society where we feel like we have to live up to what we see on social media and on TV and stuff like that. You just need to get the job done. Now, I'm not saying have to do the job, but you need to get the job done, and it's going to help you be more productive if you stop trying to be perfect. And so I know that's going to be a big one for somebody that's watching this video. Stop trying to be perfect. It's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. I need you to focus on getting the job done by any means necessary. It does not have to be perfect. Number 6 is plan ahead. And I shared a post in regards to a whiteboard that I do for my family, for our household. And what I do is mostly the kids' appointments and things of that nature, what they're going to eat after school every day and for dinner. And so I plan ahead, and that helps me so much, and it helps my household to be organized so much, and it helps my children and my husband to be just a little bit more organized. And so that board that I create on Sunday nights is, I call it, it's a part of my Sunday prep, and I'm prepping for the week. So I do a business calendar, and then I do my personal calendar, and then I have a household calendar. And so some of those calendars are digital. The post that I did show, it was where I wrote around on a dry erase board that I got from the Dollar Tree. I just wrote out what our schedule looks like, because when you plan ahead, you're more productive, because you know what days you have more items that you need to take care of on. You know where you can fit in certain things. If you have a list of appointments on Tuesdays and nothing on Wednesday, then if you need to go grocery shopping, you may need to put the grocery shopping on Wednesday. You may be able to work on the business a little bit longer on Wednesday because you don't have any after school activities or anything when you are done working on business or on a job from 9 to 5. And so planning ahead and looking, when I say plan ahead, do it for a week at a time. Of course, you know, when you're planning other things, you want to plan it as far in advance as you can. But when we're talking about our time management, we want to break it down by the week, and then by the day. And so for the week, I want you to plan out what you all have coming up. And so if something comes up where you have to throw in another appointment or whatever, you can look at your list or your calendar or your plan and say, okay, I can fit this in here. If you just to the point where, you know, you're doing all these things and you just might need a night off or a night out, girls' night out, where can you fit it? And so if you planned ahead, you don't have to worry about, oh, I forgot I had that, or, oh, no, I can't do. You can put it exactly where it needs to go. So be sure that you are planning ahead. And the digital calendars that I use, I do a journal. I love writing things down. Things come to life to me when they hit pen and paper. That's just how I am. I do also use a calendar. I use iCalendar for my phone. That calendar is great because it gets to block off things and you get to color coordinate it. And I'm able to share this calendar with my husband. And so it may say yellow for kids, blue for business, red for me and my husband are in ministry together, red for ministry, whatever that looks like, however you would like to do it. I love the idea that I'm able to share the calendar with him. I don't have to share the entire calendar. I can put something in and share that particular event with him, but it helps me to be accountable as well, and it helps him to know what I'm going to be doing during the day, because I'm moving so much throughout my day, and I don't tell him every, hey, I'm going here, I'm going here. And so he's able to look at the calendar and kind of see what I have for the day. It helps him to be more understanding. He may need me to do some stuff, but if he see that I have a full day, he may still ask, or he may say, hey, can you do this by such and such day, because I see that your Monday or your Tuesday is full. So calendars and planning ahead, very, very instrumental. When I had help with my business, I had an assistant. I did Google Calendar as well, so that way I was able to share certain events with her, so that she knew what was going on in my business life as well. So Google Calendar is another good feature, as well as just simply writing it out and just making sure that it's visible to everyone in your family, everyone in your household. Number 7 is self-care. And I can't say how important this is. And you may say, well, that doesn't have anything to do with time management. It absolutely does. Because if you're tired, you're stressed out, you're fatigued, you're not going to be able to be productive and manage your time well. Because the time that you were supposed to be cleaning the bathroom, you're laying across the bed because you're tired. The time where you were supposed to go out with your friend to make sure that you had some me time, or the time that you were supposed to make it to your kids' lunch on time, but you overslept by 15-20 minutes. We have to make sure that we're implementing self-care on a weekly basis. On a weekly, it can be something tiny. It could be something very simple, but we have to, it's something as simple as just making sure we get enough sleep when we need it. Like sometimes, for example, last night I only slept for 4 hours. I was up working. I would not do that for my entire week. By the end of the week, I would be so drained and I wouldn't be able to do anything. But for last night, for me, Sunday is a good prep night for me, and so I crammed in all this work. And so we want to make sure that we are doing some type of self-care on a weekly basis. It can just be, I want to take a nap on Wednesday after work. An hour nap, a 30-minute nap, sometimes 15-minute naps help me to be able to move on to my next project. And so we want to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves so that we can be productive and that we can manage our time. Number 8 is delegate. And this was something that was difficult for me as well, right up there with being a perfectionist. Delegating tasks to other family members. Making sure that your kids have their fair share around the house. Making sure that you're asking hubby when you need help. And I will say, especially for us stay-at-home moms, it was really hard for me because I felt like my husband went out and he worked every day. Absolutely, I'm not about to ask him to do anything around the house. But the reality is, taking care of a home is a lot of work. And then when you put something else on top of that, such as children, or you put on top of that starting a business, or you put on top of that working a part-time job, or volunteering, or working full-time, whatever that looks like, ministry, you start to get bogged down with these responsibilities and these tasks. And that's why saying no sometimes is going to be very important. Time management, planning ahead, all the tips that I mentioned, that's going to be very important because of all the responsibilities. I call them hats, the hats that we wear. And so delegating responsibilities to others is going to be very important. It's okay to ask your husband to cook one day in months, or can you cook tonight? I'm just not really up to it. Can you take the kids to get something to eat tonight? Or can you go buy something for the house? I'm not up to it. And so for a long time, I felt really guilty about that. But I don't have any problem asking now. And so we have to get to the point where, because our mental health and our physical health is very, very important, and we won't be able to do for others unless we take care of ourselves. And so if you're getting to a point where you just really need to bring some help in, whether that's someone helping to clean your house, you do not have to feel guilty about it. If you can afford it, you don't have the time to do it. And so whether it's delegating where we're actually paying someone to come in, you may have younger cousins or nieces or nephews in your family. You know, you might not have to go to a company and hire help, but making sure at least your household is helping you with the responsibilities. Now, if you have younger children, you know, they probably can't do much, but if they're 2 years old, they can pick up toys, something that's going to help you with taking care of other things so that you can multitask or you can be productive in other areas. Make sure your household members are contributing. And if you are the person who organizes and manages your home, like most women are, then you are going to have to be the one who's going to have to delegate it. My children, they have chore schedules, and that's something that I will talk about at a later time. But just making sure that you're delegating some of these responsibilities so that you take some of the weight off on you. And so, number 1, establishing concrete hours. Number 2, setting realistic daily goals, that to-do list. Number 3, getting off social media. Number 4, saying no more. Number 5, knowing that you cannot be perfect. Number 6, planning ahead. Number 7, self-care. Number 8, delegating. Number 9, organization and planning. So I talked a little bit about the planning ahead. Organization is a really, really, really key point to time management, because if you're organized, then you can move swiftly and quickly to other things that you have going on for the day. So for example, you have this long to-do list. And one of the things is finding documents. I mean, that's a really good example. One of the things is finding some documents because you have an appointment tomorrow and you're preparing for it, so you need to find these documents. If your documents were organized already, it wouldn't take hours for you to find the documents. Or kids' closets. You have this really cute bow that you just know you want your daughter to wear in this whatever play that she's going to be in. If the things were organized, it would be quicker for you to find it. We actually have to help our children become organized as well. And that's a whole nother topic because it's going to be quicker when we're like, okay, Terrell, go get your shoes and put those on. I can't find my other shoe. And so organization starts with us moms. And so we have to make sure that we're being organized in your vehicles, organized in the refrigerator. Like I'm just like really you may need to take time to just really organize the spaces around you. And I'll actually post about that. The top spaces that need to be organized so that you can move quickly and swiftly through your day to day. And so that is a post that I will put out there. I'm going to go ahead and write that down because I do have that, the top spaces that we need to have organized. And so I will make sure that I share that on social media so you all can do that. But organization is very, very, very key. I don't think that I would be as productive as I am if I was not as organized or did not plan as much as I do. And so I know that some people are just like, oh, I can't really get organized. It's a matter of discipline. If you want to be productive, you want to manage your time, if it's something that you really want, a goal that you're trying to meet, it's a matter, that's a whole nother subject. It's a matter of being disciplined to be organized. And I'm not saying that it's going to be organized 24/7. I used to be a perfectionist, y'all. So like when my kids were younger, people used to come to your house like, oh my God, looks like it's just out of a magazine. Well, I got to the point where I was just like, okay, it's going to get messy sometimes. It's going to, so I'm not going to stress myself out or be tired all day trying to pick up every little toy after them. And so I'm not saying that there's basic organization, basically is what I'm saying. There is basic organization that you should have in certain spaces, like your refrigerator, your bedroom, your closet, your vehicle. And I'm going to make sure that I share that post because if you remain organized and put some basic organization in these particular areas of your life or spaces of your life is going to help you move quicker through your day-to-day life. So that was number 9. Number 10 is prioritize. And that's a little bit what we talked about with saying no. When you're writing out your to-do list for the day, you want to make sure that you are putting the priorities first. What are the things that must happen today? I put it off for too long. I have this appointment tomorrow where I have to have this particular paperwork. My kid has to have this for the classroom party. Whatever that looks, I have to be at this particular location, so I need to get all these things done today. I have put off cleaning the cloth, whatever that looks like. Priorities on your list come first and then everything else under. And I'm going to do a specific video or a specific post about to-do lists, like how to really hash out a to-do list. Is not just writing down just a whole bunch of things to do. And so we'll talk about that a little bit later, but making sure you prioritize your day. And so the number 11 is help and support. And I touched on this a little bit. Who do you need to bring in to help delegate some of them tasks that you have? And actually not feeling guilty or not feeling like you're not good enough. Or I talk to a lot of moms. Let me just say this. I talk to a lot of moms and they feel like, oh, well, it's my job to make sure my house is clean. True. But if you don't have the time, there's nothing wrong with bringing in a housekeeper once a month, once per quarter, 2 times a year, whatever that looks like for your household. But be sure that we're not stressing ourselves out because we're trying to do so much that we don't bring in the help and support. Or what about the help and support of the people who always asking, what do you need? What do you need? I'm willing to take the kids off your hand. I'm willing to babysit for you. But we never take advantage of it for some reason. And I know part of that is mom guilt. We're going to talk about that later on this week. But making sure you take advantage of the help and support that's around you. I can't, and we're going to talk about this fully on the last topic for this week is help and support, how to find it, what to do with it. We're going to talk about that fully. But one of the tips that I just want to leave with you today is looking at who's around you, who's willing to support you, who you trust. That's important. You trust who to support you when it comes to your children or taking daily tasks off your hands, or who can you hire to help you, I should say. And so making sure we're just looking at that and bringing those people in or those products in that's going to be able to help us in those necessary areas. The last thing is routine. And so if you get on a good routine, it's going to help you manage your time. For example, if you say every Tuesday, I'm going to clean bathrooms. Every Wednesday, I'm going to work out. Every Thursday, I'm going to have free time for me. Every Friday, I'm going to grocery shop. Every Sunday, I'm going to do laundry. Whatever that looks like for you. And I'm talking about a weekly basis here. When I'm talking about the time management, we're going to do a week. And then we're going to break it down daily, and that's going to help you manage your time. But being in routine, because you're so used to doing something over and over again, is going to help you manage your time. And then once you master a task, you may start out saying, okay, I am building my website. Let's just use that for example. And I'm going to do 2 hours per day to build the website. Let's just say for the week, I'm going to do 2 hours per day to build the website. Once you get down to maybe day 5 or 6, things that were taking you longer on day 1, 2, and 3, you're going to be able to move through those more quicker. And so just using that as an example, we want to make sure that we're building routine, even in doing chores and things of that nature, because you're going to begin to find strategies on how to do stuff that's going to help you be more productive. And so if you say every Tuesday, I'm going to do chores, and okay, so today all I did was just do this chores from 3 to 5 o'clock, whatever that looks like. And then you may say, okay, well, I actually can be doing this while I'm doing the chores. And so what happens is when you start to have routines, you're able to build upon those things to get more things done in a certain amount of time. So we want to make sure that we build a routine. And then if you build routine and you say, okay, well, I'm going to spend an hour just cleaning the house. No matter what, I don't care if I don't even finish everything I got on the list today. I'm just going to spend an hour, dedicated hour to just cleaning the house. If you begin to do that, you'll start getting your time down and you'll be able to clean whatever you need to do on that particular day in that 1 hour, because it begins to be routine. And so making sure that we have a routine. I'm going to go back through these really quickly. Number 1, establishing concrete hours. Number 2, setting realistic daily goals for ourselves, which is that to-do list. Number 3, getting off social media, being more productive. Number 4, saying no more. Number 5, know that you cannot be perfect. Number 6, planning ahead. Number 7, self-care. Number 8, delegating. Number 9, organization and planning. Number 10, prioritize. Number 11, help and support. Number 12, routine. And routine will bring about discipline, because you start to do the thing over and over and over again, day to day or week to week, and it's going to bring about discipline. And that discipline is just really key to managing your time as well. And so these are my this is my first mom hack today on the time management. These are the tips that I have. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to shoot me an inbox, a DM. You can ask the questions now. You can ask them on the post. I am going to be doing live Q&A on Saturday morning, so you're more than welcome to leave the questions to then as well. So Saturday morning at 10 a.m., I'm going to be doing some live Q&A on these particular topics. So if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to come on live. You may say, Tramika, well, how do you do this? Or how do you see me do something that I put out on social media? Whatever it is, be sure to make sure to ask your questions, then join me live. And so 5 mom hacks that's going to get you set up for success for next year. And so number 1 was time management. We're going to be talking about tomorrow the importance of planning and organization. I told you that was very, very key. So I'm going to be breaking that down for you tomorrow. Number 3, I can't wait to talk about this one. We're going to be talking about mom guilt. Number 4, I'm going to give some free resources to either start or progress your business. You may be stuck. You've already started, but you may be stuck or you want to go to the next level. So I'm going to tell you about some free resources that you can use that I have used and still use when it comes to business. And number 5, day 5, we're going to be talking about help and support. And so join me every night. I'm going to be releasing these videos at 8 p.m. I will release, of course, a small bit of the video on Instagram. Follow the link so that you can get the full video. And then on Facebook, you will have the link for the full video that you can just go ahead and press play. I really hope that these are going to help you when it comes to getting organized and getting set up for success for the next year. These are some basic things that we need to do. We can't take on any more. I know we're ready to go to the next level, we're ready to take on more clients, want to make more money. But if we don't get the basic steps down of time management and just being organized and planning out things, we won't be able to add on more without being stressed out. And so mamas, I don't want y'all. I do not want y'all to be stressed out. I want y'all to take care of yourself and be in good physical and mental health. And so that's why I am giving these tips. I have people all the time that say, Tramika, it just seems like you do it so effortlessly. Well, I do put effort into it, but I've been doing it for so many years that it's become routine to me. And so some of the stuff I can do with my eyes closed. So I just decided that I was going to be sharing a lot of these tips and strategies with other mothers. So I hope that you enjoy. If you want more information about me, you're more than welcome to go to my website, TramikaCraddock.com. I do ask that you go ahead, tag another mother who needs to hear this, tag them in the post, or you're more than welcome to share out the post as well. And I thank you in advance for doing that. And I will see you back tomorrow night for night 2.